Welcome everyone. Be'ez Hashem, we're about to begin on the bottom of Daf Ches Amud Aleph, the very last line. Omar Rav Yehuna bar Yehuda, Omar Rabbi Ami, La'olam yashlim adam parshiyosav imatzibur shnayim mikra ve'echad targum. Here the Gemara says that a person has an obligation to read the Parsha HaShavua twice together with the Targum. Some say you can read it also with Rashi in place of the Targum as well. Va'afilu Atrois v'Divon, and even the Psukim of Atrois v'Divon, which does not have a Targum, is only cities in that Pasuk. Nonetheless, one needs to read that a third time in place of the Targum. Shekol HaMashlim Parshiyosav imatzibur ma'arichin lo yomov v'shnoisov. All who then complete the Parsha Shnai Mikra ve'echad Targum, he's zoichet to what's called Arichus Yomim and Shnoisov. Perhaps because since the Torah is Ki Orech Yameinu, therefore Mida Keneged Mida, he'll be zoichet to Arichus Yomim. Rabbi bar Abaye Sover la'ashluminhu leParshiyosa de Kula Shasa b'Male Yoima de Kippuri. He was thinking that one can finish all of the Shnai Mikra that he had not done on Erev Yom Kippurim. Tana Lechia Barapit Medifti. He brings a brayso in regards to Yom Kippurim. Ksi v'inisem es nafshoy seichem b'tisha lachodesh ba'erev. The pasuk said, and you shall afflict yourselves on the 9th, which is 9th in the evening. Frichi b'tisha b'sanin. Do we afflict ourselves and fast on the 9th, on Erev Yom Kippurim? V'haloi ba'asara mis'anin. We fast on the 10th of Tishrei, which is Yom Kippurim. Eloloi maloch kol ha'oicha v'shoyse b'tishi malo alav ha'kosav ki'ilu mis'anet shi v'asiri. Rather, when a person eats on Erev Yom Kippurim, that person is considered as if he fasted 2 days in a row, on the 9th and on the 10th, whereby you're supposed to be Mar Besudos, and therefore it's not a time to be Mar Besedra and make up old choivois of times of Parshios that you did not yet read. Okay, it says the Gemara, Soverlach Duminhu, he thought to then precede and make the Shnai Mikra Echad Targum earlier than that week's Parsha. Omar le hausabo Tanina, ubilva shelo yaktim v'shelo ya'acher. We learned that no, a person should be careful to read the Sedra during that week's Sedra, which means beginning from Mincha of Shabbos, when we begin reading the coming week's Parsha. From then on, a person should read Lechatchila before Mincha of the next Shabbos, B'di'eved, at least until Yom Revi of that week, and if he still cannot do that, at least by Simchas Torah. Kida'omar lohu Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi, like that which Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi said libonei to his children, Ashlimu parshi yusaychu im hatzibur shnai mikra ve'echad targum. You shall complete the shnai mikra ve'echad targum. He told his sons. In addition to that, he told them 2 other things that's recorded over here. V'hizharu bevridim. And you shall be careful with the vridim, with the veins. Ki Rabbi Yehuda, Desnan Rabbi Yehuda Omer, Ashi Yishchot es havridim. There it's talking about the shchita of an oaf. The person should be careful to be shochet the oaf together with the vridim. And he said another statement, V'hizaru bezokein sheshochach talmidoi machmas oinsoy. One has to be careful with the Talmid Chochem who might have forgotten his learning either because of illness or stam old age, because of his memory. The Aminat says, Luchois v'shiver luchois. Munachos ba'aron, we have a precedent. When it came to the luchois that broke, we put them together with the luchois. The Hainu to show us that even somebody who forgot his learning, who's doime to the luchois, the Talmid Chacham is doime to a Sefer Torah, that Talmid Chacham needs to be honored as well, no less than when he was honored before. Omar lohu rove livnei. Rava said to his children, Kisha'atem choitchin bosar, when you cut meat, Al tatchechu al gabe hayad. Don't cut the basar on your hand. Why? Says the Gemara. Iga de amre mishum sakana. Some say because it'll be a sakana. You can chalila cut off your hand. And others learn that you might not cut off your hand entirely, but still you'll make a cut nonetheless in your hand, causing blood to come out, and that will ruin the su'udah. Says the Gemara Vayter. He said an additional statement to his children. Va'al teishu al mita aramis. Do not sit on the mita of an aramis. Ve'al ta'avru acharei beis hakneses b'shas ha'tzibur mispalling. And do not walk behind the beis hakneses when the tzibur is davening. The Gemara comes on to explain these statements. Ve'al teishu al mitas aramis. That which he said to his children, do not sit on a mita aramis. What are we talking about? Says the Gemara, different possibilities. It means really to say, don't lie in bed without saying Kriya Shema, the way the Goyim do. Others explain it, do not marry a giyaris. Either because Rava himself was a Kohen, he was warning his children not to marry a giyaris, to stay away from Isser, or because, or perhaps the problems if a giyaris is not herself 100% mekabel ol malchus shamayim and ol mitzvahs, maybe there would be a concern about her sincerity. Aramis mamish. Others explain it means an aramis. Don't sit on the bed of an aramis mamish. Like what happened with Rav Papa, the Rav Papa Ozel Gabe Goya. He went to this Goya Hotzia Lo Mito. She took out a bed. Amro Lo, she said to him, shave. Sit down on this bed. Oh my Lord. He said to her, Eini Yoshev Ashe Tagbi Es Hamito. I'm not going to sit until you raise the bed. Higbia Es Hamito Umatsu Shom Tinoik Meis. She raised the bed and they found a dead child. In other words, she was prepared to make a libel against him. And therefore do not sit on the bed of Aramit. Mikan Amr Chacham also Leishiv Amitas Aramis. And the third statement that he told his children, Va'ata'avru acharei beis hakneses, b'shah she'atzibur mispalin, in Mesayer Leil Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi. This that he told them, do not walk behind the beis hakneses while the tzibur is davening. This supports that which Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi himself said. Dom Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi, Osir lo la'odam sheyavu acharei beis hakneses, b'shah she'atzibur mispalin. Omar Abai to explain, they only said this when there's no other doorway. But if there's another doorway, then it doesn't show that he's a koifer, that he's then denying, and therefore not wanting to then join the tzibur in tefillah, but rather he went maybe through another door and you didn't see him. And this is only true when there's no other shul in the vicinity. Again, there's no proof that he's a koifer, that he doesn't want to join the tzibur in tefillah because maybe he went to another shul. When he wasn't wearing a pack, and he wasn't running, or he wasn't wearing tefillin. But if one of these took place where either he's wearing a heavy pack, or he was wearing tefillin, or he was running, it shows that he was busy doing something else. Either he was wearing tefillin, and therefore he shows that he's loyal to Hashem. He puts on tefillin, he performs mitzvahs. Or that he was running, maybe he was involved in something specific, something dire, and therefore he was running. Or that he was holding a heavy pack, also he was involved with something else. But there's no proof that he's a koifer. Says the Gemara Vayter. Tanya, the Gemara brings a brisa. Omar Rabbi Akiva. B'shloisha dvorim oihev ani es hamadim. There are 3 reasons why I love what the madim do, the modaim do. What does the people from Modai do that is so unique, that causes me to love what they do? It's Ein choitin ela al gabe hashulchan. Unlike what we said before, we have to warn others not to choitech on top of the hand. They would be careful to choitech basa on the shulchan. So that was a good midah. Kishenoishkin es ein noishkin ela al gav hayad. When they would kiss somebody else, they would do so on the hand of another person. Again, a beautiful midah. And when they would give advice, ein yoatzin ela besoda. They would do so in a private manner. Another good midah. On Rav Ada bar Ava Mikro, we have a pasuk to this effect. Vayishlach Yaakov vayikra leRachel uleLeah hasoda el tzoynoi. That Yaakov called his wives Rachel and Leah to speak to them before he wanted to leave the base Lavan. He wanted to speak to them where? In the Soda, nobody should hear. It should be a private matter. Says the Gemara Vayter and bringing another brayso. Tanya, we have a brayso Amar Rabbi Gamliel. Bishloisha dvorim ohev anias haparsim. With three things I love what the parsim do. I love these certain midos that they have as well. Hein snuin be'achiloson. They are tsanua when they eat. They don't eat in public, in the streets. They eat privately. V'tsnuin veis hakisei. When they go to the beis hakisei, they do whatever they have to do there in a quiet, in a private fashion, by covering themselves up. V'tsnuin bedover acher. And they're also careful to be private in matters of marital relations, tashmish hamita. Says the Gemara, bringing a pasuk, Anit sivesi lemikudoshi, or mikudoshai. I commanded mikudoshai. So don't think that these parsim are so admirable that they're going to be zoichet to the next world, olam haba. No. Tana Rav Yosef Elu ha-parsim ha-mukdoshin u'mizumanin legehinnim. These are the same wicked parsim that you should know are being invited, so to speak, are going to be prepared for Gehinnom for their wicked acts here in this world. The Gemara quotes over here the statement of Rabbi Gamliel that he holds that you can say Kriya Shema Shel Arvis all the way until Amud HaShachar. Says the Gemara, Amar Rav Yehuda Mar Shmuel halacha ki Rabbi Gamliel. That although one has to be careful to say Kriya Shema until Chatzos, like the Chachamim say, but one can still say Kriya Shema until Amud HaShachar. Tanya, the Gemara brings a brayso. Rav Shimon ben Yochai oimer, pe'omim she'odam karei Kriya Shema, shtei pe'omim. That sometimes a person can say Kriya Shema twice, balayla, at night. Achas, koidem she'alo Amud HaShachar, Ve'achas le'achar she'ala Amud HaShachar. He can say Kriya Shema for Kriya Shema Shel Arvis before the Amud HaShachar, and he can also say Kriya Shema Shel Shacharis after the Amud HaShachar. Ve'yoytze behen yidei chayvasoi achar shel yom ve'achar shel layla, and he can fulfill his obligation Shel Kriya Shema Shel Arvis as well as Kriya Shema Shel Shacharis. Says the Gemara, Hagufa Kasha. This itself is difficult. Amris pa'amim sha'adam kare kriya shema shtei pa'amim balayla. You said that a person sometimes can fulfill his obligation to say kriya shema twice at night. Alma la'achar sheyal Amud HaShachar laylahu. Obviously, that when you said kriya shema after Amud HaShachar, it's considered to be layla, leilya. Ve'hodatani yotze ben yidei chavasoi achar shel yom v'achar shel layla. And afterwards you said that a person can fulfill his obligation to say Kriya Shema after Amud HaShachar for Kriya Shema Shel Shacharis. How does that stem? Is that indeed Laila, or is this considered to be already during the day? Alma Yemamahu. Obviously, if you're fulfilling your Kriya Shema Shel Shacharis after the Amud HaShachar, it's no longer night, it's considered to be day. Lo La'olam Leil Yehu. It is considered to be night. However, however, in regards to Kriya Shema, it's considered to be day because people get up after Amud HaShachar, and therefore he can, yes, fulfill his obligation after Amud HaShachar for Kriya Shema Shel Shacharis because people do get up then. Omar Ravacha Bar Chanina Omar Yoshu ben Levi halacha. Indeed, the halacha is like Rav Shimon ben Yochai, that a person can fulfill his obligation when he says Kriya Shema before the Amud Shachar, and again after the Amud Shachar, fulfilling the obligation of Kriya Shema Arvis before the Amud Shachar, and Kriya Shema Shacharis after the Amud Shachar.